So Xiaomi has sent over the 14T Pro, and this phone, it packs a punch. You get a 6.7-inch or 144 Hz display that supports Dolby Vision and HDR10+, 1600 nits of typical brightness, up to 4000 nits of peak brightness. You get a triple camera system and a 5000 mAh battery, up to 1 TB of storage and 12 GB of RAM, and of course it is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus. The pricing of this phone does depend heavily on the region you live in, so it could be cheaper in some regions and more expensive in other regions, but typically, the price that you can be expecting to pay is roughly the same amount of price as something like the iPhone 16 or some of the other base model flagships out there. So it does seem, unfortunately, that Xiaomi has followed in the steps of Samsung, Apple, Google, and all the other companies that are removing chargers in the box. That's right, you no longer get a charger in the box of a Xiaomi phone. That's wild. I've never experienced that before. But I guess in the good news of it, you do still get a pre-installed screen protector and a case in the box. So at least they're sticking with something. Now, the cameras included are going to be the 50 megapixel main camera, the 50 megapixel telephoto, as well as the 12 megapixel ultra wide. Honestly, the cameras look great. They definitely retain that Leica branded look. And of course, I'm using the Leica authentic style because it just adds this type of mood to the photo. Will this phone produce the best looking photos? No, but it does produce photos that many other phones just cannot replicate as well. This isn't for everyone, but I personally love it, especially after having so many phones that love to overprocess and over sharpen. My only real complaint is that the telephoto camera does not have any stabilization. You don't have optical image stabilization, you don't have electronic image stabilization. But the second you tap on the 5x digital zoom, not optical but digital, then you will get some form of EIS or electronic image stabilization, and it does the job fine, but I do wish we had it just on the typical normal actual telephoto camera, not digital zoom. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Video, on the other hand, is not the best. There are some compromises. For example, if you want to shoot in HDR, you can only do that in 4K 30, not 4K 60. But the video quality itself isn't bad, with pretty good stabilization and pretty good looking HDR. And of course, if you want to take things more into your control, Xiaomi does offer director mode, which does give you all the settings you could ever wish for. Now, taking a look at the body, we do have a textured power button to help differentiate between the volume buttons, and on top of the phone, we do get a microphone as well as an IR blaster to troll people with. The left side is clean, and on the bottom you do have USB-C, mics, as well as the SIM card slot. Now, the look of the phone is a bit, it's an acquired taste, that's for sure. It does look metal, it looks completely metal, even though this is glass. So I kind of like the way they made it look more metal, more kind of rugged. But yeah, you should still definitely be careful and definitely wear the case that comes with the phone, because this is glass, not metal, which is definitely a good thing. The display looks amazing with its high crazy brightness levels, HDR10+, and Dolby Vision. And on top of that, you have 12-bit color, which is fantastic. So if you're a content fanatic, you're absolutely going to love this phone. And of course, we cannot forget the 144 Hz display. But here's where all the PC gamers are about to rip me a new one, because personally, as someone that uses, or I should say more accustomed to 120 Hz, going from 120 to 144, it's not that crazy. Like for example, going from 60 Hz to 120 Hz, that is a big jump. You're definitely going to notice that 100%. You may not even know that you notice it, but subconsciously you just feel the phone as more smooth. But going from 120 to 144, the difference isn't all that dramatic. Yeah, of course it's going to be super smooth, but I'm okay with 120, to be honest. Now, as far as the battery life goes, during the first couple charges, expect your battery life to be pretty bad because the phone isn't fully optimized yet to how you use your phone. After the first couple charges, that's when the battery life completely changes. It's a day and night difference, really. I'm easily going through the entire day, no problem, no battery anxiety, and my SIM card is in this phone, so I've been definitely using it the battery life has gotten so much better after the first couple of charges, so don't freak out if that happens to you. Now the good news is that, well, it's kind of good news. This phone does support 120 watts charging. The bad news is you don't get that in the box. Again, the good news is that they're pretty darn cheap. You can buy one for like $20 on Amazon. So once you do that, this phone can charge fully in around 30 minutes or less. So that's insane. Now the performance of it's my first time using a MediaTek chip. I've been kind of using Snapdragons this entire time. And honestly, the good news is that I haven't really noticed anything big. Like, I'm not even sure how good the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus is supposed to be compared to the Snapdragon. I try not to look at the comparisons and specs online. What I like to see is how a phone functions for me, right? Do I notice a difference? And if I do, I will definitely tell you guys. And the good news is that I don't notice any difference. Will the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 maybe be better for like hardcore gaming? Of course, probably that's the case, but for normal everyday life, Instagram, social media, emailing, YouTube watching, Netflix, Hulu, you know what I mean, just web browsing, yeah, this phone does it no problem at all. So, I definitely think Xiaomi has done a great job with this phone, and, at a pretty respectable price tag as well. So if you're a fan of Xiaomi, if you're a fan of the Leica branded kind of color look, the color science to the photos, you're definitely going to enjoy this phone. And again, you don't have to spend such crazy amount of money for it. Again, this does depend on the region you live in. In some regions, you're going to be paying a lot. In other regions, you're going to be paying less than an S24, right? So definitely look into that if you are considering buying this phone. But if you are and the money is good, then I definitely recommend it. So if you guys have any questions on this phone that I didn't answer in this video, definitely drop them down below. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, definitely click that like button. It's free for you, but it helps me and the channel out a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.